So it is going to be just a small introductory part of, which is going to be just a small introduction to machine learning has been got done, guys. So just an introduction to machine learning. So actually, we are going to start with the machine learning as part of our full stack data science course. It is going to be a full stack data science course. Actually, we are going to learn not only machine learning, we are going to be learning the other things also actually, guys. Like we are going to learn deep learning. We are going to learn something like an NLP, AI, all these things we are going to learn. But initially I have been started with what is machine learning actually, guys. What is ML? Just a quick introduction I have been got done. So no worries, because even if you do not, even if you miss the session also not a problem at all, because almost all the first week is going to be just only the introductory part only, guys. We have not done much about that actually. After that, I have been started with the Python actually, guys. Just a small introductory part with the Python, like just what are the features of Python. So why the people are going to be preferring to learn this particular Python. So what is the basic reason, the features, and something like history about that. So what is going to be, how it has been got evolved, and just a little bit slightly about the installation of the Python actually. We have done only the base installation only, so which we can download it from anybody, guys, if we just want to download it from python.org. And just a basic things like I just talked about something about the operators in Python actually, guys. What are the basic operators in the Python? So like I have been discussed about what are going to be the arithmetic operators, and we have been got discussed about just like normal, it's an relational operators, and which is going to be nothing but like we have been seen about logical operators we have been got discussed. And how do you do the assignment operator, something like that, logical operators, something. These are going to be some of the things what I have been got discussed, logical operators, etc. I have been got discussed. So assignment operator, so directly it's going to be variable equals to value. You need not to declare any variable in the Python actually, guys, because Python is going to be a kind of an dynamically typed language. So like other programming languages, it's a dynamically typed language. So like other languages, you need not to do any declaration of the data type. So directly, we can just directly use the variable, whatever the data type you want to assign, you can assign it. But as I told you, Python, you don't really declare the variables, but Python supports the data type. I'm not saying that Python does not support the data type. Python supports working with the data types. So I have been just discussed about the 4 basic data types, like integers, we are having a floats, we are having a strings, and we are having a bools. So strings, basically, it is going to be either enclosed within single quotes or either enclosed within the double quotes. Anything is the fine case. Either single quotes enclosed the strings or double quotes. Anything is a fine case in Python. Both are allowed actually. So that is one of the thing what we have been got discussed, like bool, which is going to be Boolean value, which is going to be true, which is going to be T capital and remaining. It's a case sensitive language actually. So I have been discussed about T and F, which is going to be T capital and F capital. Remaining is going to be in the lowercase. Normally floats and all these things, we know them. Integers are going to be nothing but any positive, negative numbers, which does not contains any decimal fraction. And float is going to be having a decimal fraction actually. So directly, just like the normally we can say X is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. You really no need to specify. You really no need to specify what type of data type it is. Directly, we can just say X equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can say Y equals to something like an hello. Or immediately we can say X is equals to bool. There is no need of conversion and all these things. We need not to do it actually. X is equals to true, what we can write it actually. You really no need to write any particular code, or no need to write any declaration part and all these things not required actually. So these are the some of the things what we have been got discussed. Like apart from that, we have been discussed about one more discussion. The discussion is going to be nothing but, as we can see that the discussion is going to be nothing but what we can understand here is how to know about what type of data type Python has been got chosen. I'll just quickly show you guys, which is going to be type. Type is a function actually, guys. So type is going to be a function. So throughout the Python, we are going to be working with the functions only. So all about functions only. We don't write any codes. We don't write any functional language. Everything we are going to write it only just by writing some kind of functions. anything is going to be done by calling a function. Anything is going to be done by, which is going to be nothing but a calling a function only. We are going to do that. We don't really write much kind of a code what we are going to be writing actually. So that is one of the ideas. That is going to be one of the ideas what we have been got discussed. So once again, quickly I'll show you. I have been download. If anybody has been joined, has been missed the previous classes, guys. So just what you do is just go to, which is going to be the python.org. So just go to the python.org where we can just download the Python. So it is a base system actually. So we are not installing any advanced levels. This is only for the beginners. We are going to be installing it actually, guys. Download. So for Windows or Mac or whatever the source code, whatever the operating system it is supported. So you can download this particular Windows. Download it. After that, you have to install it, guys. It's a very small file. Just hardly it is around some around 27 MB of the file. You can just download and we can work with that actually, guys. Later, Akshit Pahuja. Yeah, Akshit. It's later. No. It's later. Right now we have been started with that. Later we are going to work with the Jupyter and the spiders. We completely work with the Jupyter notebooks only because we are in the beginning part now. So I don't want to confuse with that, but because we completely work with the our every regular classes will be going on with the Jupyter notebook only because we are a beginners now. So I don't want to in the start immediately what is Anaconda. So I don't want to make that kind of a confusion. But anyhow, we are going to be working with Anaconda. So we can see I have been working with Anaconda and every regular classes. Once if we move to the advanced level, no doubt we are going to be working with the Anaconda Python only. What we are going to do that later. So not only Anaconda, you can work with different options. What are the different IDEs also? I'm going to tell you later. But as of now, we are going to be working with an environment called as an idle. So which is going to be idle, which going to be comes along with the Python actually. So whenever we download it from python.org, so we are going to be getting this idle is going to be gets coming it actually, guys. Just give me a minute once, guys. Just give me a minute. Actually, just give me a minute once. Just give me a minute. Right, guys. Yeah, Mahesh, yes, absolutely. We'll be providing all the materials and all the recorded videos and our day-to-day class notes, whatever I write it in the notebook, everything is going to be provided, guys. Everything will be provided. Okay. So through the drive access only, you are going to get it actually. So if you want, I'll just show you that those things also. So like this, you will be getting the drive access will be given. So all the recorded videos, day-to-day recorded videos will be there. And every day, so whatever the class notes will be there and whatever the PDFs and all these things, whatever that is relevant materials, relevant PDFs. So all those things will be shared with you along with that. Like this we'll be getting actually, guys. So for your batch, I think you already started with this. Actually, I got the access here. You can see full stack data science 6 p.m. by Vamsi Krishna sir. So I think it was not yet recorded. Recording sessions are there, but my class notes was not yet updated. So you can see some few classes has been happened. So you can go through them actually. So who has been missed the classes, we can get it actually, guys. No, this is offline, online class only, guys. It's completely online class. Okay. Right, guys. So guys, okay, so that is going to be what we can talk about them, guys. Okay, so once I'm going to be opening this idle. So idle is going to comes along with the, which is going to be along with this particular, what we can say that along with this particular Python only it will comes. So you can install the Python. So wherever you have been installed Python, I think 3.10.4. Okay, so this is a version actually, guys. You can see something called as an idle, what we can see that actually, guys. You can just directly work with that particular idle without having any issues. You can work with them. That's not going to be a, it's not going to be a big issue at all. We can work with them actually, guys. Once quickly, just whatever we have been got discussed actually, guys. Print x is just print the value of x. X is equals to the value of 10. So what is the type of the x actually? What type of data type x has been taken? Simply you say type the x. You can see that it is going to be nothing but it's an integer class. I'll tell you what is meaning of that class. Why we call it as a class actually, we'll tell you actually, guys. Immediately you can say x is equals to 10.24. Print the value of x. You can say print the value of x or only x also we can say that. It is going to be prints actually. It's a console based application. It is going to be just a console based application actually, guys, which we can work with these guys. Now the next thing is going to be nothing but immediately I can say x is equals to, for example, I can say x is equivalent to, which is going to be, I can say something like an hello, I can say this. So this one, that's going to be x. So if you can see, you can print this particular value of the x actually. But what is the type of the x actually, guys? Once if you say what is the type of the x, you can see that that is going to be something like what we can see that it is going to be a kind of a string type of data type, what we can see it actually, guys. It is going to be nothing but it's a string type of data type actually. What we are going to call it as a string. Like that, we can just work on this kind of an applications actually, guys. Just we can work on this kind of an applications like this. We can work with that. So just give the data and we are going to be gets working with them actually, guys. Okay. Please just don't mind, guys. Just 1 minute of time. I just got a call from office. Just give me a minute. I'll be back. 1 minute. Please be online. No, no, guys. Actually, I got a call. Please be online. I just got a call actually. So I'm taking up the call. Right, guys. So which is going to be something like a string type of data type. You can see. So the same x which is acting as integer here, it has become a string, a float here. Immediately it has become a string here. So there is no worry about that. Actually, this concept is going to be different actually, guys. The concept is different actually. So that is the reason it is saying that it is a class actually. So how it is possible? So normally in other languages, if I say it is an integer, it has to work as an integer only. You cannot work it like a string immediately. So we have to do some kind of a conversions and all these things we have to do. But here it is not required actually, guys. We can directly straightforward, we can work with that. So what is the technique or what is the main concept behind that? I'll tell you. Again, I'm going to say that x is equals to, immediately I can say true. Don't put the true in the double quotes or single quotes. It's in the true is like a keyword we have to write it. So print the value of which is going to be x. So we can see the true and we can simply, we can say that which is going to be what is the type of the x actually, guys. So we can see that it is going to be bool. So basically like that Python supports working with all the different types of data types like this. We can work with all the different kinds of data types. We can work with them actually, guys. That is basically the idea about this particular application. So throughout the Python, it's not over it's not over with this actually, guys. Throughout the Python, anywhere if you want to know what is the type actually. So what is the type here? We work with the different types. Don't think that we are going to work only with the numbers, integer strings, only this kind of a thing. Not only this, even we are going to work with different. Later, we are going to work with the arrays. We are going to be working with the data frames. Like that, we are going to be so many different types of objects will be there. Later, whenever we work with that, we'll understand this. But once again, whenever we want to know what type of object it is, simply if you say type, automatically it is going to tell you what kind of an object it is going to be, guys. So these are the some of the things what I have been got discussed. That's it actually, guys. We didn't discuss much about that. These are the some of the basic things we have been got discussed. So today we are going to be entering into a little bit, an advanced levels of the Python actually, guys. So what are those particular concept is going to be? These are what we are going to call it as an sequences in Python actually, guys. We are going to call them as an sequences in the Python. There is an other names are also there actually, guys. They are called as iterables. Some people call it as a data structures. Actually, correct name is going to be sequences, guys. But different people will call with a different names. But basically, Python call it as a sequence, no doubt at all. It is going to be nothing but a sequence. What we are going to call it as actually, guys, a sequence. So the name itself is saying that it is going to be a sequence, which is going to be nothing but what is a sequence actually. So a sequence is going to be nothing but what we can say that better as of now, guys. Better to say that it's a collection of values. It is a collection of values actually, guys, as of now. But actually, correctly speaking, it is not collection of values actually. It is collection of something, but it is not only just values actually. As of now, say that it is a values actually. So mainly, Python is going to be supporting some basic sequences are supported actually, guys. One is going to be the list. Second one is going to be nothing but it's a tuple. Like in other languages, like if you come from the Java side, they are called as Java collections actually, guys. Java collection, a different data structures to hold the data in a different way. So normally we know integers, floats, generally they are nothing but what we are going to call it as scalar data types actually, guys. Basically, we are going to call in other languages as a scalars. Scalars are nothing but we know them, guys. Scalars and vectors. Scalar is nothing but which contains only the magnitude. Vector is going to be nothing but which contains a value, a magnitude as well as direction actually. So in our data science, we are going to precisely we are going to say about what is vector, what is a scalar. We have to talk about them. Normal other languages, we don't work with the vectors, but in our data science, we work with the vectors concept actually. Okay. So list, tuples, we are having a sets, we are having one more also. We are going to be having something called as an frozen sets are also available. And we are having something called as a dictionaries. Actually, string is also going to be comes into sequence only, guys. Actually, the string is also going to be comes into sequence only. Later, I'm talking about that. I'll talk about that in the later applications. So for the timing, we'll go according to understandable format. After that, we'll conclude the concept actually, guys. So in Python, basically, because what is a sequence? Why the string is going to be a sequence actually, guys? Because a string is going to be nothing but it's a sequence of characters. Why string is going to be sequence? Because a string is going to be nothing but just a sequence of characters it is going to contains actually. Like that, list is going to be just contains a sequence of characters, not characters, a sequence of values, tuples, sets, dictionaries, frozen sets. These are some of the basic data structures what we are going to call it as in Python. Actually, they are called as sequences actually, guys. Just if you want, just for a timing, just you say sequences in Python actually, guys. Sequences in Python, sorry, sequences in Python, not sequence. This is going to be what we are going to call it as a Python sequences, what we are going to call it as actually, guys. Like you can see, what are the different types of sequences that are going to be available actually. You can see something like some people talk about something like strings, list, tuples, okay, dictionaries. So there are different objects what we are going to be having it actually, guys. If you just want to see that. So whatever I have been written, we can see them: strings, list, tuples, byte sequences. We don't use them. So that's why I said that it is going to be some of the basic things what we are going to call it as actually. Okay, so let us start with the first object what we are going to call it as list actually, guys. So you will be getting some PDFs related to that. Just we can work with them actually. So what is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as a list actually, guys. What is going to be a list basically? List is going to be nothing but I can say just it is a collection of which is going to be heterogeneous data actually, guys. It is not a collection of homogeneous. Sorry. Just a minute. It is going to be a collection of, which is going to be something like is what we can say that it is going to be a collection of some heterogeneous data actually. Just a minute once. Yeah. So it is going to be collection of, which is going to be heterogeneous data actually, guys. So we all of you know what we mean to say heterogeneous data actually, guys. Heterogeneous means they can be not of the same types. It is going to be heterogeneous, which is going to be not an homogeneous, which is going to be a collection of some heterogeneous data actually, guys. The data need not to be of the same type. The data need not to be of the same type actually, guys. They can be different types. That means a number, a string, a float, a bool, anything you can have it actually. There is a one more term called as an, generally we are going to use some new terminologies in our Python actually, guys. That is what we are going to call it as mutable. Actually, mutable and immutable. There are going to be two terms are there. Python uses some kind of the Python community uses some kind of a different terminologies we are going to use as actually, guys. So they uses a term called as which is going to be what they call it as it is going to be mutable and immutable. Indirectly in other languages to make it understand with other languages, it is going to be nothing but mutable is nothing but variables. Immutable is going to be nothing but it's a constants. So normally while you are working with C or C++ languages, you may have seen constant means which we cannot modify. For example, if I said constant, some example x is equals to some 10. So throughout the program, your x must be remain as in constant. It should be constant actually. You cannot modify it. Even we cannot modify it. But whenever I said integer x is equals to 10, it is going to become a variable. That means after some time, if you want, we can say x equals to 20. You can say x equals to a plus b. You can modify the data actually. Same as it is. In Python, we are going to call it as a mutable and an immutable data actually. Mutable and immutable objects or variables, what we call it as. Mutable means which can be modified. Today you're creating, for example, today you created one, I created one object or I created one variable. That variable can be modified in the further applications. That is what we are going to call it as mutable. So list is going to be nothing but it's a mutable type actually. So today if you create it, later you can add the things, we can remove the things, whatever you want, we can do it actually, guys. Now, how do you create a list actually, guys? It becomes very, very simple, guys. Create a list. So normally if anybody has been came from the Java side, they knows about that. So they have to import some kind of an java.collections something. They have to create an object of the class. So first we have to import that particular class actually. We have to create the object of the class and then we have to use it. Here it is not required actually, guys. How do you create a list? Create a list just by enclosing in square brackets actually, guys. By enclosing in the square brackets. Just if you enclose in the square brackets, it is going to automatically becomes a list. You really don't require to write any code. Create a list by enclosing within the square brackets. That's it, guys. Okay. So how do you create a list? Very simple. X is equals to, you can have a string like hello, single quotes, double quotes, whatever it may be. You can have a bool, which is going to be true, 20.45. And you can have some number like an 1, 2, 3, 4. Just put it in the square brackets. Even you need not to specify like a keyword like I was a list or something like that, because Python does not require any data type declarations. You really don't require this. Maximum, most of the Python applications, we never specify what type it is going to be. Simply we'll say x equals to, that's it, assign the value. So whenever I enclose within the square brackets, it is going to automatically, it is going to become an, which is going to be list object. It is going to become actually, guys. Now see how simple it is going to be working actually, guys. How simple it is going to work. Let us have a look at this one. So simple application actually, guys. X is equals to, you can just give the data actually. X is equals to whatever the value you want to give. X is equals to, like for example, I said hello, and I can say something like an true. Let us say which is going to be 20.45, and which is going to be something like n, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Over. It won't throw any error. Nothing is going to be happens actually, guys. You can just work with them. Now what I'm going to do now, simply I'm going to say what is going to be print the value of x if you want, and simply hello true 20.451234. And simply what I'm going to do now actually guys, simply I'm going to say which is going to be type of the x actually. Very simple. That's it actually guys. Nothing is there. Just create that particular list. I created a list. I just printed what is the values in the list, and just I'm typing what is going to be the type of the text. The type of the x is going to be nothing but it's a list actually guys. Over. That is going to be how we are going to be working with this kind of an application. So type the x, which is going to be nothing but a class called as a list class, what we are going to be gets working with them guys. Okay. Now the things. So creation is very easy. You can give all the values actually. Y equals to, which is I can give same. Don't think that it should be always of the different types. It can be of different types. It can be of the same types. Heterogeneous, which can be same or which can be different. All of them are integers. Print the value of x. All of them are going to be different types. Print the value of y, which is going to be all of them are same type, integer. But when I say type of the x, it says list. Whenever I say type of the y, it won't say integer. It will also say that it is a list only, guys. So that is basically what we are going to be doing as of this particular applications. The next level is going to be nothing but what we can do is the next concept is going to be a very important technique called as slicing, or what we are going to call it as indexing actually, guys. So actually for some people it has been already done, but repetition. So slicing or indexing actually, guys. What do you mean to say slicing actually, guys? The slicing is going to be nothing but, it is going to be nothing but what we are trying to do is getting an element. So actually the values inside the list is nothing but what we call it as elements. Getting an element from a list actually, guys. That means whenever we are trying to get only one element from the list, that is what we are going to call it as slicing. Sorry guys, sorry. This is what we are going to call it as indexing, not slicing. Getting a single element from a list is what we are going to call it as indexing. Normally in other languages, while working with C, C++, Java, anything, you have been got working with the arrays actually. So whenever you want to get the arrays, for example, array of 0, the first element. So whenever we want to get one by one, normally in C languages, when you are having an array of some values, you cannot get all the values at a time. If you want to get the first 3 values, you cannot get it at a time. You have to put it in a loop. We have to put it in a loop and we have to do that. But in Python, it is not required actually, guys. We can do both the things actually. Indexing. Now what is going to be slicing actually, guys? So you generally know what is a slice, a piece. So a slice of cake, a slice of bread. So we are getting some kind of a piece. So what is slicing here is you are getting some kind of a subset, which is going to be a portion of that particular, array actually, guys, or a list. So getting a part of a list or part from a list is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as slicing actually. Remember, whenever we slice a list, it is always returns a list only. There is no doubt at all. But whenever we go for an index, I don't know, I may get a list, I may get an integer, or I may get some other thing. Like for example, if I have a list like this, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. For example, if you do this indexing means I have got only one element. Then that is indirectly nothing but it's an integer. Whenever it is going to be nothing but if I use a piece like 20, 30, 40, if I use a piece. So if I slice this is what we call it as a slice actually, guys. This is what I call it as slicing. It's a slice, one piece of that particular list. If I get only 30, it is going to be nothing but it is an index actually. It's an indexing. So whenever we do the slicing, if I slice a list, again I'll get a list. If I slice a tuple, again I'll get a tuple. So whenever I slice an object, whatever the object you are slicing will get the same thing. If I cut a slice from a cake, the slice is again a cake only. If I slice a bread, I'm going to get a bread only. Same as it is. If I slice a list, again I'm going to get the list only actually, guys. First, we'll see how to do the indexing actually, guys. How to do the indexing actually. So remember, to get the indexes, to index the data or slice the data, first of all, we have to know the indexes of the data actually, guys. Indexes. Same like other languages, the index is going to be starts with 0. It's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 actually, guys. This is going to be whatever the index is. So it is completely the index base. Index is nothing but the position minus 1 actually. Third element, the third position element will get 3 minus 1, 2 index. So first element will get the 0 index. The last element will contain n minus 1. If we make it generalized, it is going to be the last element is going to be contains, which is going to be nothing but n minus 1 elements. The n minus 1 is the index actually. So which is going to be from 0 to which is going to be n minus 1 will be the index actually, guys. 0 to n minus 1 is going to be the index what we can talk about then. So that is what we can talk about this particular indexes. So once you know the concept, you can do it actually, guys. How do you slice? How to do the indexes? Simple. Not only slicing, this topic is not only related to list actually, guys. Tomorrow, that means in our future classes, we are going to work with the arrays. Array slicing, array indexing. We are going to work with the data frames. So we are going to be working with the data frame array, the slicing and a data frame indexing also what we are going to be gets working. So this topic, whatever we are discussing today is not over with the today's class. So in coming future, it is very important for us also. Like later, whenever we work with our data science and all these things, slicing and indexing is very important for us. So that's why try to play around them. In Python, I never say that learn. I'll simply say that play around the Python actually, play around the techniques. Because very simple, very easy. Only thing is you have to just play around them and we have to understand the techniques actually, guys. So how do you do the indexing actually? So let us talk about the indexing actually, which is a very simple technique. What is going to be the list? Just we have to use the list and just we have to use the square brackets. Just list is enclosed in square brackets. While slicing also we have to use the square brackets only, guys. List of whatever that particular index is going to be there. That's it. Whatever the element you require, just give the index. It is going to return you whatever the value, whatever that particular value at that particular given index actually, guys. At that index, whatever the value is there, that particular value is going to be gets coming actually. For example, I have a list actually. I want to get the second element. Second element means we have to say x of 1, which is going to be nothing but true. What is the type of the x? X is a list. But what is x of 1? X of 1 is going to be may not be a list. It is going to be a bool actually. The element of the x is a bool and the x is going to be nothing but it's a list actually. Like that, we can just work with them actually, guys. If you want to get the fourth element, simply I'm going to say that which is going to be x of 3 actually, which is going to be the fourth element of that. If you want to get the first element, it is going to be something called as an 0 actually. Normally, everybody have an idea about this particular concept. Maybe if you have already learned C or C++, you will be having some idea about that. So I told you about, so in the Python introduction class, I told you. In Python, we have the same, we are going to be having the same things, whatever that is available in other languages. But whenever it comes to, whenever it is going to be comes to, just a minute, actually my pen is, just give me a minute. Yeah. So whenever it is going to be works with, like whenever we are going to be working with, like something like what we can say that normally just like other languages, here also we are going to be having the same technique. But in Python, we have some small specialities there actually, guys. A very small speciality is there. You can just play around those particular topics actually. What is those particular topics here is just an example to make you understand. This is the data actually. So indexes will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normally, when you say what is the last index, what is going to be the last index actually? If you really know what is the length of the string or what is the length of the array, we can say what is going to be the last element. For example, here I know that there are 6 elements are there. So last index is going to be nothing but 5. For example, if you don't know what is the last element actually, Python provides you a special way to manage these indexes actually, guys. Left to right is from 0 to n minus 1. We are also having from right to left actually, guys. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. That means left to right is from 0 to n minus 1. If I talk about left to right actually, guys, it is going to be 0 to n minus 1. Whenever we talk about right to left actually, whenever we talk about right to left, it is going to be -1 to -n. That means How many elements are there? That many it is going to be. Yes, it is a negative indices, what we can call it as. It's a negative indices actually, guys. So we can see -1 to -6, negative. But one thing, there should be, don't by heart anything. It's a very complete control. That means it's very complete control. From the right hand side, this is the first element. From the right hand side, this is second element. From the right hand side, it's the third element. Like that, it is going to be from right hand side actually. The last one, the last but one, the last before the last the but one, the before the last but one, like that, the last three, the last four, the last five. Like this, we are going to be handling this actually, guys. So whenever we want to know the last element, for example, we have a y is there. I know that there are going to be there are 5 elements. There is a function is there actually, guys. Length of the y. When you said length of the y, it is going to tell you how many elements are there. What is the length of that array? It will tell you, or whatever the length of that particular list, it is going to tell you length of the y, which is saying that it is 5 actually. So if we want to get the last element, automatically we have to say 4. Instead of saying the 4, you can say which is going to be y of -1 actually, guys. Negative. That means simple to say that starting from right hand side, it's a negative position. So we should have a complete control on them, guys. We should have a complete control on them. Complete control means if you know I'll tell you some tricks actually, guys, a simple mathematical tricks. If you know what is going to be the positive index, you should know what is a negative index actually. If you know the negative index, you have to know the positive index. So you can easily identify the positive index actually. So once if you know the positive index, you can find out what is negative index. If you know the negative index, you can find out what is the positive index. That means if you know from left to right, easily we can identify from right to left actually. For that, just let me write some numbers, little bit more numbers actually. 40, 50, 60, and it is 70, 80, 90, 100 actually. This is the numbers. So automatically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 actually, guys. These are the values. So generally expecting that we know the size of that particular list actually, guys. Provided that we know what is going to be the length of that particular array. So based on that, we are talking about them, guys. We are talking about them. Now the thing is going to be, it's a straightforward application actually, guys. What is that actually? Which is going to be nothing but what we can say is, if you know the positive index, that means if you know the positive index, directly if I ask you to find out what is the negative index of this, so you need not to start from here now, -1, -2, -3. Simple technique. Whenever you know the positive index, and if you know the length of the string, if you total length of that array, it's very simple actually, guys. It is going to be nothing but 3 minus what is the length. That means positive index minus the length. It's automatically, it is going to be -7. If you want, you can check it out, guys. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So if you know the positive index, negative index is going to be nothing but simple mathematics. Negative index is going to be nothing but the negative index is going to be nothing but which is going to be positive index, which is going to be positive index minus what is going to be the length actually. Now reverse order. If you want to know what is positive index actually, it's a simple mathematics. If you want to know the positive index, if you move the left index here, then it is going to be nothing but a negative index, which is going to be nothing but plus the length actually. If you want, you can try it actually. So if you know the negative index, finding the positive index is straightforward, which is going to be plus the length. This is minus the length. For example, I know the positive index. How to find the negative index? 1 minus 10, which is going to be -9. What is the index actually? 7 minus 10, which is -3. 5 minus 10, which is going to be -5 actually. So if you know that this is going to be -2, I know that from the right hand side, it is a negative, second position. If you know the negative index, finding the positive index is straightforward. I told you negative index plus length, which is nothing but -2 plus 10, obviously, which is going to be nothing but 8 actually, guys. It's nothing but my observation. It's nothing but nobody is going to explain you about that. Nobody is going to teach you about that. Nobody is going to write about that. It is only our observations. Once you start playing with them, automatically we can observe the things. We have to learn those things actually, guys. So that is going to be basically the idea about this particular technique. So once if you know the positive index, because these are very useful for us, guys. Don't think that it is over for this particular discussion. No, in our coming discussions, we are going to use this. So once if you know the length of that particular total array or the total list, Once if you know, if you really don't know what is going to be the size, I cannot say that. I cannot say that. From the last one, I can say -1, -2, -3. Suddenly, if you ask me, what is this particular position? I cannot say that. If I don't know the length of the string, or if I don't know the length of the array, if I don't know, I cannot identify that. So negative index, if you want, you can just take it out. Don't practice it. Don't by heart these formulas. So if you know the positive index, negative index is very simple from the right hand side. So 3 minus whatever the length, 0 minus whatever the 10, which is -10, 2 minus 10, -8, 4 minus 10, -6, 6 minus 10, -4, 8 minus 10, -2, 9 minus 10, which is going to be -1. If you know the negative position, finding the positive position is same. -1 plus 10 is 10, sorry, 9. -2 plus 10, which is 8. -3 plus 10, which is 7. -4 plus 10, which is going to be 6. Like that, you must be in a position to access any kind of a data actually, guys. So for example, x is equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let us say 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Just see how it is going to be powerful. I want to get from the last position, I want to get the fourth element. So what is the element? So no need to check it from left hand side. What is the fourth element? Not required. From the last, I want to get the fourth element, x of -4. Now, once you know that -4, now you can easily, we can do that. Now you can do that x of, don't write any formulas, etc. -4 plus 10, which is going to be 6. Both the results are going to be same actually. If you want to get this particular 40, what we have to do that? Easy. Which one is convenient? We can use it. I know that this is going to be fourth element. So x of 3, you can do it actually. Or x of 3 minus, which is going to be 10, -7. That is also going to be the same result. I don't by heart anything. I don't recommend to by heart anything actually, guys. It's only just a concept. We have to understand it. Unless and until if you don't have a control on that, we cannot work with an applications actually. Hope you can understand this, guys. For example, if I want to get this particular element actually, any element 80. So which is going to be nothing but -3. Which one is convenient? I'll do that. Data is a sequential, guys. Data is sequential means we can easily identify. This is the 8th element, so index is 7. Provided if a situation is going to be like this actually, guys. Like 42, let us say, which is going to be 54, 7, 86, let us say 73. Something, I'm taking some random numbers actually, guys. 12, which is going to be 90, which is going to be 15. Let us say something like an 49 or something like which is going to be 34. Any numbers, 88, which is going to be 76. Something I have taken some random numbers actually, guys. Some random numbers I have been got taken actually. Now suddenly if you ask me what is the index of this 15, I cannot say that actually. I cannot say because I have to count it. If I say earlier case, it is going to be something. First, if you ask me about 88, I can immediately say that x of -3. So what is the total length? So length of the x actually, guys. X of the length is 14. So x of -3 plus 14, automatically it is going to be 11 actually, guys. Hope you are able to capture what you are able to understand what I'm talking about that. So that is going to be some kind of a tricks what we have to find out. And there are some tricks are there. So is there any possibility to find out where is the 12 is there? Actually, 12 is there. You can find it off. Don't worry. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th element. 7th element means I have to say which is going to be 6 actually. I know that there are 14 elements are there. So from the right hand side, which is at which position? 6 minus, which is going to be 14 actually, guys. So it is going to be 8th element from the left hand side. Sorry, right hand side. So it is going to be the 6th element from the 6th index from the left hand side. And it is going to be nothing but the 8th element from that particular right hand side actually. Like that, we can understand how these particular values are there. So if we take sequence numbers, easily we can identify. But if we take a random numbers, we cannot say that. Suddenly, if you ask me about what is the 90, I can't say that actually. I have to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just now we have seen 8. 8 means which is going to be nothing but x of, which is going to be 7. 7 minus 14, which is going to be x of -7. Because that is going to be the middle element, what we can say that. That is the reason what we can say. Easily we can identify that this is going to be the 8th element from the left hand side because index is 7 and the 7th element from the right hand side, which is going to be -7 actually, guys. So like this, you can just extract any kind of an element, any element we can get from that particular list actually. So sequence of numbers are comfortable to understand. If there are not sequence of numbers, we'll get confused with this actually, guys. So that is what exactly we can do it actually. Now the next thing. How do you do the slicing? Means like the slicing actually, guys. As I told you, slicing is going to be nothing but a piece. So which we can get it from a piece. So we have to specify. So when you want to get a piece, where we have to start, where you have to end. That is what we have to specify them. Where you have to start, where we have to end. That is what we have to specify this actually, guys. So whenever we want to do the slicing, so where to start your slicing and where we have to end your slicing actually, guys. So in that case, we have to specify something like this. What is your list? Same thing, square brackets. What is going to be your starting index? Colon actually, guys, not comma. It is going to be colon. Where you want to stop, colon. What is the step you want to take it actually? So this is the style actually, guys. You should be having a complete control on them, guys. It's not understanding. It's going to be complete control. You should be having a good practice on that. Hands-on must be there actually, guys. Then only we can control all these things actually. So once again, what is your starting index? What is going to be where to stop and how much is the step? Leave the step for the timing. I'll come back to that. Starting is going to be always, it is inclusive, guys. It is going to be inclusive. And stopping is going to be nothing but it is an exclusive. That means excluding, including, excluding. Throughout the Python, the same notation will follow, guys. Same notation will follow. In Python, in some languages, it's not like this actually, guys. Sometimes it works in some way, in one way, and sometimes it works in a different way. But in Python, it is not like that. In Python, it is not like that. Once if you confirm a concept, once if you confirm a process, throughout the Python, it is going to work in the same way. It does not changes from one option to another option or one concept to another concept in the Python. Throughout the Python, the same notation and the same concept actually, guys. That is what we are going to call it as, which is going to be the slicing option. So where to start and where to end, and which is going to be the step actually. So where to start? So specify the starting index, left to right or right to left. I don't bother about that. For example, I want to start from here. I want to start from here. You say 4 or you say -6. That's why I'm saying that. So sometimes I'll say that I want to start from the 6th element from the right hand side. So this is going to be -6. It is going to be indirectly -6 actually. Like that, we are going to be gets working with them, guys. Like that, we are going to be gets working with them. So that is a way which we can see with an application. So where to start and where to end. So whatever the starting position is going to be included. And what about the ending position? I think in Java also, maybe if anybody has been came from the Java side. So in Java also, it is going to be the same notation actually, guys. So starting position is going to be included and the stopping position is going to be excluded actually. So here also I'll tell you the simple steps. I'm going to tell you a simple tricks I'm going to tell you actually, guys. A simple tricks I'm going to tell you actually. So what are the tips you can say that actually? So where you want to start, just it's very simple trick. I want to start from here. Let us say that I want to start from here. So 4 is to how many elements you require. For example, I want to get 3 elements. 4 plus 3, you have to say 7 actually, guys. 4 is to 7 we have to say. Because 4, 5, 6, 7 is not included. Simple, easy remembrance. Where you want to start, where you want to end. Start with the 4th index. And I want to get 3 elements. So 4 plus 3, which is going to be 7. How many elements will get? It is 7 minus 4. We are going to get 3 elements. We will get it actually, guys. Like that, we have to understand the tricks actually. So 4 is to 7 means start from the 4th index and go up to the 7th index. But stop before the 7th index. Don't include the 7th index actually. Because that is going to be excluded. It is not included. It is going to be something like what we can say that it is going to be excluded from the, it is going to be excluded actually. So it is going to be gets the data starting from which is going to be the value what we can see with an application actually. Now you can have a look at this. You can just, I'll play around them actually, which is going to be X actually, guys. I know that the 12th is at the 7th position, right? No, it is a 6th position actually. So X of 6, just an example actually, guys, 12. Starting from here, I want to get 4 elements. So simply it is going to be 6 is to 10 actually, guys. So indirectly it is nothing but 6, 7, 8 and 9, including 6 now, guys. So automatically actually 6, normally if I said including of 6 means 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we have to get 5 elements normally. But 10 is not included actually, guys. That's why we know that if 10 is not included, we know what is going to happen actually, guys. If 10 is not included, the 10th index is not included means we'll get only 4 elements. We are going to get it actually, guys. Like that, we can just work with this kind of an applications like this. So we are going to get 4 elements actually, guys. 12 to 49. We are going to get again another list we are going to be getting actually, guys. 12 to 49, we are going to be getting, and another list is going to be gets coming actually, guys. It is going to be another list. So its slicing is going to be nothing but it's an element will come. It may be an integer or it may be float or some other thing. But whenever we do the slicing, it is going to be only this data will come actually, guys. So you can also write negative indexes also actually, guys. It's not that it's going to be positive indexes. I know totally 14 elements are there. So 6 minus 8, so 6 minus 14, it is minus 8. You can also write like this. You can start from minus 8, 10 minus 14, which is going to be nothing but minus 4 actually. So indirectly start from minus 8. Minus 8 means from here. Go up to minus 4. Go up to minus 4 means up to here, but exclude this. So start from here and go up to here. So which is 12, 19, 50, 49. That is going to be the data what we can see that. But if you have a control on that, you can play with them. If you don't have a control on them, you'll get confused with them actually, I guess. So where to start, where to end? I want to start from the beginning. I want to start from the 6th element. And I want to go up to the last element, including the last element. For example, unfortunately, if you really know the length, you can say, I know there 14 elements are there. So 14 elements means last index is going to be 13. So we have to say 14. You have to say 14. For example, if I say 13 means last element will not be included actually, guys. The last element will not be included. We'll get only up to 76 only. So that's why what we can do is you can do a notation like this. 6 is to minus 1 also. You know what is meaning of minus 1? Minus 1 means the last element. Except the last element, remaining elements will come. Then in that cases, what we have to do is just you say 6 is 2, guys. If I don't specify if I specify the starting and if I don't specify the stopping, then by default, it is going to be up to the end actually, guys. It is going to be up to the end, it will goes. Up to the end, it will goes. And it is going to works with them actually. Up to the end actually, I guess. Up to the end it will goes and it is going to works on them actually. That is what we are going to call it as 6 is 2. Simply I specified the starting index, but I didn't specify the ending index. So it automatically starts from the 6th and goes up to the last element actually, I guess, which is going to be nothing but what we can see as a 45 is what element, what we can see within applications. Right, guys? Like this, we can just work with any kind of an applications like this. You have to play around them. Main important is we have to play around them actually, guys. So I want to get this particular 5 elements. Let us say that. So where you want to start? I can start from the 3rd element. 3rd means it is 2. I want 5 elements, 2 plus 5, which is going to be nothing but 7. So you can see 5 elements. If you want to talk about a negative indexes, you can play with them. 2 minus 14, it is minus 12. 2 minus 12, 2 minus 12, minus 14. 7 minus 14, which is going to be nothing but minus 7 actually. Anything is a fine case. Results are the same results only. Chaitanya, it is a part of, that means it's a kind of a subsetting actually. So tomorrow when you are working with the data sets actually, so I want to get the first 10 elements or I want to pick these elements. So compulsory we have to know where you want to pick the data actually. So sometimes I'll say that first 2 records you leave it and take the last 2 records, or leave the first 2 columns and take the last 2 columns. So in that cases, we are going to take the help of the slicing concept only. Okay, so we cannot use the names and all these things because we have too many columns will be there. You cannot write down the columns. So I want to get the last 2 columns. I want to get the last 2 records. So in that cases, we are going to be working with the slicing concept actually. Okay, fine guys. So like that, we are going to be working with this kind of an applications, but we have to practice them. As much practice you can get it. So except the last and except the first and except the last, I want to get the remaining elements. Very simple technique actually. X of 1 is to minus 1. You know what is 1 is to minus 1 actually. So start with the first element and go up to the last element. What we can say this actually, guys. So like this, X of 1 is to minus 1, which we can see with an application. So 1 is to minus 1. So start with the first index and except the last, remaining you can go for. So in that cases, I want to accept the last 2, remaining I want to get it actually. So accept the last 2 remaining, where to have to start 0 up to the last 2, minus 2 actually. So anyhow, you are starting with the first, you are starting with 0 only, no? If I don't specify that, if I don't want to specify that, just you say colon -2 actually. What is colon -2? Start from the 0 index and goes up to the last, except the last 2 remaining will come actually. So it will start from 42 up to 88. We are going to get the result actually, guys. So 42 up to 88, we are going to get it actually. So except the last 2 remaining will come. So totally 14 elements. So basically, if I don't want to specify the starting, you simply say colon 5, meaning that is it is going to be the first 5 actually, guys. Colon 5, meaning that it's equivalent to, is going to be equivalent to 0:5, guys. Is equivalent to 0:5 actually. Whenever I said 5:2 means, what is the meaning of 5:2 means? Starting from 5 up to the last element, it is going to be. Whatever the element, maybe 10 elements may be there, 20 elements may be there, 100 elements may be there. All the remaining elements is going to be gets coming actually, guys. Like that, we have to just control this kind of an application actually. So first, initially what you can do is, you can take some sequence of numbers. Don't take a random numbers. So first, initially what we can do is take a sequence of numbers actually. So x is equals to 10. Sequence of numbers are easy to identify them. So 70, 80, 90, 100. Let us say that sequence of numbers. So if I ask you what is the 50th 50, I can say x of 4. If I know that sequence, I can say that. If I want to get the 90, it is going to be x of 8 actually. So you can easily, we can work with them. 8 is 2. Start from the 8th element, get the remaining elements. So 90 and 100 will come. Sorry. It is going to be 90 and 100 will come. Same example, I can write like -2 is 2 also, we can write it. So -2 is 2, meaning that is, it is the last 2 elements I want to get it actually. Start from the -2 and go to the remaining elements actually. Like that, we can just work with any kind of an applications. So is to 5, it is going to be nothing but the first 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. X of 5 is 2. Starting from the 5, you get the remaining elements. You may have a 5 elements, you may have a 6 elements, you have a 10 elements, that does not matter with that. That is a way how we can handle this kind of an applications actually, guys. So that is very powerful. That means you have to start with the powerful actually, guys. So you can control in any way you can control it actually. Like for example, it's need not to be always it is both positive indexes or negative indexes. Once again, I'm writing it actually, guys. 10, 20, 30, which is 40, 50, which is 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. For example, this is the date actually. Now let us say that I want to get, let's say that I want to get these 4 elements, you want to get it actually. So this index is going to be 2, this index is 5 actually. So I can understand them. So this is going to be right, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totally there are 10 elements are there. So I know that it is going to be 2 minus, which is going to be 10. So this is going to be obviously, it is -8. And this is going to be nothing but 6 minus 10. It is -4. So just, I want to show you actually. So let us say that the list is equals to X. So if you want to get the 4 elements, you can say 2 is to 6, you can say, or even we can say -8 is to -4. Even you can also say that it is going to be one positive index and negative index also, we can say that. Generally, that means indirectly what we can say is start from the second element and get all the elements except the last 4. That is the case actually. So in that case, I can say X of 2 is to, which is going to be -4. Even that is also notation. You can use both positive and negative. Don't think that both of them should be positive, both of them should be negative. This can be written also as an, which is going to be -8 is to -4, you can write, or you can use any combination. -8 is to 6 also we can write it. Anything is a fine case. Both positives, both negatives, one positive, one negative, anyway you can handle it. It does not matter with that. So the main target here is you have to study this kind of an applications. X of, I said 2 is 2, I want to get 4 elements. So it is going to be 6. So it is going to be 30, 40, 50, 60. Starting from second index, I want to get. Starting from second index, except the last, that means other than the last 4, except the first 2. So then I can go for -4. Result is the same actually. Or you can use it as, which is going to be -8. From starting from the right hand side, it is going to be -8 is to 6 actually. -8 is to 6. This is a way which we can write it actually. Same result. Or X is to, which is going to be nothing but -8 is to -4. Even that is also going to be the fine. -8 is to -4. So if you have the complete control on that, You can write in any way you can write it application, guys. So that is a positive index. Negative index is a little bit a tricky way. That means unless and until if you don't have a good practice on that, you cannot understand the things. So you have to practice it carefully. Once if you practice it carefully, once if you have been expert on that, you can just handle any way you can handle that application actually. Without having any confusion, we can handle it. So basically we have to know about those particular techniques actually, guys. So that is basically how we are going to be working with this kind of an application actually. So try them, take some kind of a list and just make a practice on them. Just you really don't require any materials and all these things for this concept. So just a concept. There is a list, create a list. So slice them, make a note of them. This is going to be indexes. How to get this particular data actually. X of is to -1. So sometimes what you do is randomly you give some numbers and try to predict what could be the output. Except the last element, remaining elements will come. X of 4 is to -2. So what we are going to be getting actually. So except the first 4 elements actually, start from the 4th index actually. So 5 and except the last 2 elements. So it is going to be 50, 60, 70, 80. So that is, 50, 60, 70, 80 is an output. So sometimes you, as you expect, what is your expectation? Write down the code. You write down the code and find out what is an expected output like that. So what we can see this kind of an applications actually. Okay, guys. So practice them actually, guys. There is some step is there. So anyhow, it will take a little bit time for tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll see about that particular step concept. It is going to be the step, whatever the step concept is there. So we'll work with that particular steps. So positive step, negative step is there. What is that? We'll discuss about that. And after that, we'll start with a little bit concept about object-oriented concept. It's a theoretical concept. What is class? What is object? What is a method? So it is a little bit introductory part of object-oriented programming because Python works based on object-oriented style. So a little bit knowledge about object-oriented is required. So 1 or 2 classes it may takes to make you understand what is object-oriented style. And after that, we'll go for some methods actually, yes, because there is a list is there, X dot, you can observe carefully. Actually, our target is to study these methods only. But if you want to study them, we have to understand what is that X dot, why we are writing X dot. It is a notation of object-oriented style. Okay, so based on that particular object-oriented style, we have to work. That is the reason why we have to study what is an object-oriented. You need not to become an expert in object-oriented, but a basic knowledge of object-oriented is required actually, guys. Okay, and one more thing, if anybody has been, that means who has been joined for the today's class. So you don't worry, you will be getting the recorded sessions actually, guys. Whatever the classes you have been missed, a very few classes actually, guys, because Saturday, Sunday, there is no class. Yesterday, Monday also, there was a no class because Saturday I have given off. So before that day also, due to some 2 or 3 technical issues, on one day the mic was not working. So I canceled on that particular day. So very few classes has been happened. So don't look at the dates actually. We can see that actually it was started on 9th actually, guys. You can see it has been started on the 9th actually. You can see started with the 9th, but very few classes. These are the classes that has been happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of the 10 classes, guys, the first 4 classes up to here, you can see 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th is Saturday and Sunday. So we don't have a class. 16th, 17th, I don't have a class. 18th, 19th, 20, 20 and 21st, I think I don't have a class actually. So 21st also we don't have a class. So these are going to be, we don't have that much classes actually. So we didn't have that much classes actually. So we can just go through them. Nothing is there. If I just run this class also, guys. So I'm just running the 23rd class. Nothing will be there actually. It is going to be hardly, it is going to be some kind of an basics like what is Python maybe, or what is a list. I think on the last 23rd, I think I discussed about the list only. So what is that particular list? It's taking some time actually. Okay. So this is a video, whatever the video we can see it, you can just play. So it's taking some time for me. So you can just play it and we can verify it actually, guys. So actual classes started on here. So initially there are very few students. So we have given a break for them. Again, a new demo class has been got started. So to pull up the students, it has been taken the time. So I think due to some exams are going on in universities. So little bit. So now it's a little bit count is fine. It is going to be 17 people. So 17 are there. So if I remove myself, there is going to be 16 people are there actually. So as of now, okay. So I think still some people has to still registered with the course. So, but at least we'll have a minimum. If we have a 15 batch of 15 group, 15 people in the group. So the batch also will goes well. So remaining batches also we have already 30, 40. We have the batches actually. Yeah. So Telegram group, yeah, Telegram group will create them guys because it just takes a little bit couple of days. My backend team will work on them. So the drive also, who has been already got registered by paying the fees, they will be getting the access to the drive guys. So who has been want to attend the free, that means if you want to attend the demo classes, just attend for 1 or 2 demo classes you can attend. After that, if you are satisfied, that means if you want to take the course, so then you can, once you registered, you will be getting the access to the drives. Access will not be given to all the people guys who has been registered by paying the fees. Only for those people only will get the access to that drive. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry about the fees because 1 or 2 days, because still my backend team is working on them. So because once the people started confirming, just they have to get the confirmation about that. So they'll give the access. Give me 1 or 2 days of time because the drive is also within my control only. It's also there within my control. So I can also give the access, but pay, but just wait for a couple of days. We'll get complete access to that. Yes, we have a Power BI cloud deployments in this course, Mahesh. So Power BI is also there and even cloud deployments are also there in the course. Yeah, Anurag, I think you will be getting a follow-up mail to you. So like I can just show you some like an follow-up mail will be given to you like this. I think maybe I deleted them. Yeah, you will be getting a follow-up link like this actually guys. We'll get a follow-up mail after the class. You will be getting like this actually. So there you can find out the details about the payments and all these things we can do. Otherwise, anyhow, my backend team will try to contact you over the phone or over the mail if it is possible. So they will guide you actually. So there the link, it's not a link actually. The account details and all these things will be there. You can just go through that particular payment, the payment gateways and all these things we can do it actually. My backend team will help you guys. Yeah, even Python also, even Python videos also will be getting the access to you. It has to be because we will generally give it like a total batch at a time access. That's why what we will do is let us just at least if the main batch is confirmed and once batch is confirmed, if the finally the students have been finalized, so then you are going to start giving the then we'll give the direct access to all the students at a time, because it's not possible to give the access one by one. It's a process will be there. That is the reason why generally what we'll do is we'll all at a time. So once if all students, there is a procedure is there. I'll tell you the procedure actually. So once if I confirm the particular procedure, once if I give the procedure, my backend team will give the access to that particular videos also. Yes, guys. So we are going to be getting a free of as a free of cost. As a complimentary, you are going to get this videos actually, guys, at a free of cost, which is costing you around some 4,000. You are going to get it at a free of cost, guys. Okay. So that is going to be one thing about the Python. If you want to become a Python, learn a little bit more about the Python. Anyhow, whatever the Python that is required for our course, I'll teach them in the class itself. If you want to little bit explore more about them, you can go through this particular videos, guys. Okay. So give me a couple of days, guys, who has been, because from last 3 days, we don't have a classes now. So I'll just verify them. I'll also monitor it. So I'm going to give the access. I'll verify. Just give me 1 or 2 days of time. Still beginnings classes only, even Telegram group also within a couple of days, we'll create a Telegram group and access to the drive also. I'll update them, guys. Actually, drive was not yet updated. I have to update with my materials and all these things. I have to update them and I'll give the access to you guys. Generally, the class will be like this. Just we have been updated like this. No, actually, the drive will not be like that. Your drive will be something like this actually, guys. So like books, class exercises, data, PDFs, videos, like this you will be getting actually, guys. Like this you will be getting the update actually. Okay. Yeah, class timings are from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. guys. Your class timing is going to be from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Yeah, so time is fixed. Time is fixed. Okay. Fine, guys. Any more questions, guys? Anybody having any questions? If you want any questions, I can just discuss with them. Right, guys. Yeah, 5 months it will take us. 4 to 5 months it will take, Mahesh. Right. Okay, guys. Just for today, I'll stop it here, guys. And the people, you can start working with them. So who has been attended for the demo classes, guys? Today is a first class. So my backend team will contact you. So if you want any clarifications regarding fees and all these things, you can discuss with them. And once the payment is done, you can get the access to the drives and all these things. We can get it, guys. Okay. So fine, guys. So thanks for today. Yeah. It's a regular classes. Almost from today onwards, our regular classes has been started. Your actual syllabus has been already started from today itself, almost all. Okay. So they're all basics actually, guys. They're all basics. We have to do that. Just we don't work much about that Python, but after that pandas, numpys, those we are going to be starting as a prerequisites to the machine learnings. Yeah, my backend team is also going to share you the syllabus also, guys. You will be getting a syllabus like this. We can see. They will share you, guys. They are going to share you those particular mail also to you. So you can just go through the contents and you can verify them actually. You can also get the, I think, just a minute once. Yeah, I'll ask my backend team to share use those particular details like this actually, guys. You can see the DURGASOFT, you can find the follow-up mail. So in the follow-up mail, you can see this attachment actually, guys. A full stack data science course will be finding the attachment actually. Akshit, it may take some time. New batches will be there, but only the thing is, as of now, we don't have it actually. As of now, so this is a yeah.
Okay.
So as of now, but in coming future, obviously we'll have the classes. So if you tell those timings to my backend team, so whenever a new batch will start at the time, they will update you guys.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Fine, guys. Thanks for today, for attending this session for the these people. So anyhow, we'll continue tomorrow, same time, same link, guys, at 6 o'clock, 6:05, 6:10, I'll start the session. Initial classes now, so little bit slowly. After that, we'll speed up the classes, guys. Thank you all of you guys. We'll meet up in the tomorrow's class. Thank you all of you guys.